Scientific study of Vedas, creation of universe, starting from Brahma. Class 78. Today we are going to see the fifth incarnation of Vishnu, that is Vamana Avatar. Vamana Avatar. The creation of universe is starting from Brahman. That is the starting point of creation. It wants to create a beautiful world. So it is taking place in different stages. And these are controlled by a controlling force that is called Vishnu. And the character as per Purana story that is creating this thing is Brahma. As per the plan, that is Paramatma. So Brahma is creating this universe based on science. So at the time of creation, Brahma requires science. There was only energy in the universe that came out from Brahma in the form of waves. So at that time it is like ocean. Waves is like that waves in ocean. That wave, the energy is flowing in the form of wave. Wave that is seen in ocean. So it is compared with at that time it is compared with an ocean. And the knowledge is there somewhere. And to create things, Brahma will require knowledge. So it is the duty of Vishnu to get that knowledge. So he take the incarnation of fish because at that time it is compared with an ocean. So in the story, the character that is in the story is in the form of fish. So fish incarnation because there was only ocean like atmosphere at that time. So the character is a fish. So Vishnu took the form of fish and bring that Vedas or knowledge or the science which is required to create the universe and gave it to Brahma. So Brahma began to start creation. The first thing that created is atom. So atom possesses the shape of a tortoise. So Vishnu involved at that time. First, fundamental particles were created and was filled throughout this universe. Then these atoms are to be formed. These particles are to be turned around this nucleus. So some external force is required, and that external force is Vishnu. So Vishnu take the form of a tortoise in the story because the atom possesses the same shape, similar shape that of a tortoise. So in the story it is represented as a tortoise, the second incarnation of Vishnu. Thus atoms are formed. Then these atoms are combined to form substances. These substances combine to join together to form big ball-like structure that is planets. So a number of planets are formed at it is then it will wander in the universe freely. But to create the universe, the planets also be arranged around the sun or star. Sun and star are the same. So the planets are to be arranged around the sun in orbit. So an external force is required, and then an external force is Vishnu. Vishnu take the form of a boar. Because boar has a trunk, it is with an angle. This trunk is like the axis of an earth. So this boar raised the wandering earth and put it on the orbit of the sun. So the earth is on the orbit and the trunk is the axis of the earth. So it is compared with a boar. Vishnu take the form of a boar. That is in the story. Then at the center, sun is there. A number of suns are there in the universe. That is stars. And around this, there are a number of orbits. And in this orbit, all the planets are placed. Then the next step is it should be revolved around the sun. Then the problem arises. At the time of starting to revolve around the sun, an external force is formed. It may throw out all the objects on the earth outwards because the objects, all the stones, mud, etc., are now loosely fixed on the earth. If the earth is revolving with a very high speed, going to revolve around the sun in a very great speed, these may be thrown out. To avoid that, an external force is applied, and there came Vishnu in the form of a Narasimha. Narasimha means half lion, half man. Man is intellectual, and a lion is very courage, and so such a great force is required to prevent the materials on earth, all the mud and stone, mountain, etc., on the earth, it may be thrown out when the earth going to revolve around the sun. So such a great force, we cannot imagine how Vishnu had done this. So it is compared with a character, with a body, man like, half man and half lion, a creature. Such a creature is the half man, half lion. Such a shape is given to the character in the Purana stories, that is Narasimha Avatar. So, sun is there, around this the planets are revolving. But then there arises another problem. So, four incarnations are already completed. Tortoise, fish, tortoise, uh, boar incarnation, and Narasimha. The fifth one is Vamana Avatar. We know if the earth moves around the sun, the distance in a circular orbit, the distance from the sun is always equal. So, seasons will not be formed. Why seasons are formed? Because it is revolving around the sun in an elliptical orbit. So, the distance from earth to sun changes based on which water evaporates, and at the time of rainy season it will fall. So seasons are formed due to the movement of planet around the sun in an elliptical orbit. Otherwise, if the planet Earth is going to move around the sun in a circular orbit, there will be no seasons, no rain or water, so not suitable for living things. So the progress of creation stops at that point. All the time, the climate on the earth is all the time the same. So everything is equal. If two persons are born at any time, they will be alike because distance from the earth to the sun is the same. So if any creature creation take place, all will be alike. That is complete socialism. So in this story, there is a demon called Bali. He is the son of Virojana, and Virojana is the son of Prahlada. So during his rule, there was everyone was equal because the sun is moving, earth is moving around the sun in a circular orbit. The distance always this situation is alike. So it is like a socialist setup. No theft, no cheating. Everyone is alike. That full socialism is there. This is, climate may be fixed always in a particular condition, no variation. Even though it is a good condition, stationary state, that is not suitable for further creation. For creation, the earth should revolve around the sun in an elliptical orbit, so there may be changes. Due to this, seasons are to be formed due to this movement. Different seasons, rainy season, summer season, and like that, winter, based on which if any person born at one time, the distance between earth and sun may be different when a person born at another time. So there may be difference in character of each person. So different varieties of creatures are formed on the surface. That is possible only if Earth revolves around the Sun in elliptical orbit. So it is against the existing setup. So that setup, the force acting at that point is represented as a demon, and the name is Bali. So in the story, Bali is Bali conducted a yaga, and Vishnu want to create a better universe with different types of creatures, with the different seasons, etc., etc. Then only creation will proceed. Otherwise, a stage will be reached. Thereafter, no progress in creation. So Vishnu came there in the form of a Brahmana boy. Brahmana boy means he will wear a sacred thread that is in the form of ellipse. So he came there and asked for 3 foot of food or space for doing tapasya. Only 3 foot. Why foot? Because this shape of the foot is that like that of an ellipse. If we put anything on a circular, or if we put a foot on a surface, we will get the shape of an ellipse. That is why it is, he asked in the story, this Vishnu asked 3 steps. 3 step means if the earth is going to move around the sun in elliptical orbit, there are 3 different positions. At one point it is far away from the sun, at another point it is very near to the sun, at another in between there is a middle point. So exalted stage, depleted stage, and medium stage. In astrology we call it as Ucha state, Nija state, and Sokshetra. For example, due to the movement of Earth in an elliptical orbit, when Sun is in Meda, it is with a very high temperature, very hot, and the opposite, very low, it is in Tula, and it is medium position, that is in Simha Rashi. So, due to such a movement, there are 3 stages. Man, in the case of man also, he may be reached a top level, sometimes he may be a lowest level, or he may be a middle level. So variations are taking place in the life of every person. Sometimes he may be in a Swarga position, sometimes he may be in a Naraga situation, sometimes he may be in a normal situation. That is the 3 worlds. So Bali agreed and allowed him to take that place. To take that place means he can be measured in 3 steps. So with the first step, first foot, he measured earth and the Padalaloka hell. The second foot, he measured the Swarga, upper world. So all the three worlds he measured with this 2 foot. Then he asked where I will measure the third foot. So Bali, in the story, Bali showed his head and Vishnu put that foot on his head, and so Bali went to Padalaloka hell. That means thereafter earth came to rotate around the sun in an elliptical orbit in which there are 3 stages. One is exalted stage or Ucha Kshetra, one is Nicha Kshetra, and in between there is middle stage. In our life also, there are very high upper position, lower position, and middle back. Likewise. So chances are there, variations are possible. In the case of individual, in the case of all the things, these three stages are there. This is due to the very good, very bad, or average. A mixture of these two. Sorga, sometime we may be in a position like that in Sorga. Sometime we may be in a position that may be like that of Naraka or in hell. In between, there is also a stage, neither Sorga, like a common man. So, creation also of different varieties of creations are possible depending on the position of the earth from the sun at that time. Then only this creation will take place. So, this is the idea, this is the science that is given by this story related with the Vamana, that is the fifth incarnation of Vishnu.